Admiral John Kirby, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Thanks for letting me be here. Appreciate it.
באחד מרגעי השפל הקשים ביותר שידעו יחסי ישראל וארצות הברית, אנו משוחחים עם ג'ון קירבי בבית הלבן. משימתו של קירבי להרגיע.
The Prime Minister and the President haven't over 4 decades agreed on everything. Of course, they come from different political traditions. They're going to disagree. They have in the past. They are right now. But the one thing that they do agree on is the importance of the safety and security of the Israeli people.
ההצבעה במועצת הביטחון השבוע זעזעה את היחסים הרעועים ממילא, אבל המשבר לדעת הבית הלבן הוא מזויף.
It does appear to us perplexing and confusing that the Prime Minister's office, at least over the course of the last few days with respect to this Security Council resolution, is trying to create the perception of a gap that doesn't need to exist.
והטענות האלה נשמעות גם היום ישירות מראש הממשלה.
I think the bad thing about the U.S. decision in the United Nations Security Council was that it encouraged Hamas to take a hard line and to believe that international pressure will prevent Israel from freeing the hostages and destroying Hamas.
Well, again, I'll let the Prime Minister speak to his comments, and I'm certainly not negotiating in public. What I can tell you is that there was no change in our policy.
Israel really believes that that's a problem, that sends the wrong signal to Hamas.
There's no change in signal that Hamas should be picking up. We know that in Israel, just recently you celebrated the festival of Purim, and we understand what Purim is all about. It's about battling against a potential genocidal threat here. We recognize Hamas represents a genocidal threat to the Israeli people, and that's why we're going to continue to support Israel.
בממשל חשוב להפריד בין נתניהו לבין ישראל, בין הוויכוחים של ביידן איתו, למה שהנשיא מרגיש כלפי ישראל.
President Biden considers himself a Zionist. He has for his entire life. He's very dedicated to making sure that Israel is secure and safe, and that they have the tools and capabilities to ensure that safety and that security. That's not going to change.
And to Israelis that feel that the administration started off giving Israel full backing and now somehow is turning its back or conditioning this backing?
I don't know how you can look at what's going on and say we're turning our back on Israel.
מועצת הביטחון היא רק התירוץ. מה שבאמת מטריד את הבית הלבן זו פעולה ישראלית ברפיח וביטול המשלחת שהייתה אמורה לדון בפעולה הזאת.
We don't want to see Israel make the same mistakes we have made in many cases, in similar fights that we have had over the last 20 to 25 years. And that is why we very much want to see if we can reschedule this meeting with an Israeli delegation here in the United States, here in Washington, to have a conversation about viable alternatives to eliminating the threat of Hamas in Rafah.
ביקור גלנט לא קרב את הצדדים בנושא רפיח. קירבי לא בורר מילים בנושא הפעולה הישראלית האפשרית. An Israeli attack on Rafah doesn't seem hypothetical anymore. Israel is bent on doing it. What would the U.S. reaction be?
I'm not going to get into that. Again, we want to be able to have a conversation with our Israeli counterparts about closely examining some viable alternatives that are different than a major ground operation, which again we think would be a disaster, not just for the 1.5 million refugees that are in Rafah, but for the Israeli people as well.
You said that you want the Israeli delegation to come here. Has the White House reached out? Is there any scheduling of Dermer and Hanegbi coming again?
I don't have anything on the schedule to speak to right now.
But you would want to see them come and conduct these discussions?
Well, we would certainly welcome another opportunity to have a discussion with our Israeli counterparts about viable alternatives.
בינתיים אין מועד לביקור המשלחת הישראלית, גם לא למפגש כלשהו בין המנהיגים. What do you think about the option of Prime Minister Netanyahu coming and addressing the American people from Congress?
That's going to be up to the Prime Minister to decide.
Will the White House give its blessing?
It's really for the Prime Minister to decide in conjunction with members of Congress.
האם המשבר ביחסים ייפתר בקרוב? קירבי מנסה להיות אופטימי.
We're not going to see eye to eye on everything, but that doesn't mean that the friendship is torn asunder or that their alliance is somehow being fractured. Quite the contrary.
Admiral Kirby, thank you very much.
Thank you.